Is this Amazon golf ball the best budget golf ball in the world? And can it compete with premium golf balls at half the price? My name's Tap and I'm a mid-handicap golfer trying to save money without losing performance. And in today's video, I'm going to put Callaway's cheapest golf ball up against the Titleist Pro V1. And we're going to find out today if we need to be spending premium money to get premium performance. Can this branded budget golf ball compete with the Titleist Pro V1? Let's get into it. This is the Callaway Hex Tour Golf Ball, and it is legitimately half the price of a Titleist Pro V1. And in today's video, I'm going to hit both golf balls in the simulator and out on the golf course to really put this budget golf ball through its paces to see if it can really compete with the Pro V1. The thing about the Pro V1 is that it's known as being the best all-round golf ball in the world. There's a reason why it's the #1 golf ball on tour. You get great control with a wedge, you get great stopping power with an iron, and you get great distance with driver. If the Callaway Hex Tour Golf Ball has a chance of competing with the Pro V1, it needs to be able to perform with every single golf club in the bag. So, I've got a test. I'm going to hit both golf balls with a 60-degree wedge, a pitching wedge, a 7-iron, and a driver. And I'm going to compare these two balls with their carry numbers, their ball speed, their spin, and their ball flight. Pros love the Pro V1 for its ball flight, and that's where most budget golf balls fall down. If you've seen my golf ball tests in the past, you know I like to hit a lot of golf balls to gather my data, and today's video is going to be no different. For this test, I'm going to hit 25 shots with 4 different golf clubs and 2 different golf balls. So in total, this is going to be a 200 shot test. That's before we head out onto the golf course. Now that should give me enough data to be able to compare the Callaway Hex Tour Golf Ball against the Titleist Pro V1. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with every single shot. Here's a little montage, and I'll be back in a sec to run through the results. Right then, results are in, and I think a lot of you are going to be really surprised with these results. I've tested a lot of budget golf balls on this channel, and the Callaway Hex Tour is right up there. I'm going to start with the Lob Wedge results. Again, if you've seen my tests in the past, you know I like a controlling factor when I do my data gathering. And the controlling factor, as always, is club head speed. For the Lob Wedge, I was swinging the club at 50 miles an hour, which is basically a pitch shot for me. And I made sure that the average club head speed throughout the test was 50 miles an hour. I'm going to put all the Lob Wedge results on screen for you now. And let's be honest, there's not a lot to pick between the two golf balls. I'm struggling to find any real difference, to be honest. The biggest difference I can see is in descent angle. The Pro V1 is flying lower and therefore has a shallower descent angle. Although pros like to see a lower ball flight with these types of shots, most of us amateurs like to see the ball stopping as quickly as possible. Now when you consider the spin numbers and the descent angle, there's a good chance that the Callaway Hex will actually stop quicker than the Pro V1, but only a little bit quicker. Honestly, there's not a lot to pick between these two balls at all. But in all fairness, we're not actually hitting the golf ball that hard yet. Let's move on to the pitch and wedge results. For the pitch and wedge test, I was swinging the club at 80 miles an hour, which is basically a full swing for me. Again, here are all of the pitch and wedge results. And again, there's not a huge amount to pick between the two golf balls. The carry, the ball speed, the spin, and even the descent angle this time are basically identical. With a wedge in hand, According to these results, there is no way you need to be spending £4 a golf ball. You have to remember that the Callaway Hex Tour is less than half the price of the Pro V1, and there's no way we're getting half the performance. From 140 yards in, there's nothing to pick between these two golf balls for me. But as with most budget golf balls, the harder you hit them, the more their performance is questioned. Let's have a look at the 7-iron results. For the 7-iron test, I was swinging the golf club at 87 miles an hour, which again is basically a full swing for me. And at that speed, I was honestly expecting to see a bigger performance difference. Here are all of the results. Now, I've hit a lot of golf balls for this test, and so far, I'm not seeing much of a difference, if any, in performance. We are seeing that the Pro V1 is flying a little bit lower with all of the golf clubs so far. The Callaway Hex is just popping up that little bit more off the face, which is why we're seeing the descent angles being a little bit steeper. But a steeper descent angle isn't bad. You could argue that a golf ball flying high can be negative, especially on a windy day, but a steeper descent angle means the golf ball's going to stop quicker. When we look at the carry, ball speed and spin numbers with the 7-iron, they're basically identical. It's seriously surprising to see a budget golf ball perform this well. We're nearly all the way through the golf bag and there's hardly anything to pick between these two golf balls. Yeah, sure, if you're someone who needs to be able to control your ball flight, the Pro V1 is probably going to be better for you. But if you're even able to control your ball flight, you're probably not in the market for a budget golf ball anyway. For an average golfer like me, all I really care about is the golf ball flying far enough? And is it stopping quick enough? And so far, this golf ball is doing that just as well as the Pro V1 for less than half the price. I'm seriously impressed with this golf ball. And unlike other budget golf balls, this one is made by Callaway, a huge name in the golfing industry. What's not to like so far? Let's have a look at the driver results. Finally, with the driver, we're seeing some performance differences. But I'll be honest with you, it's not in the direction you'd think. For the driver, I was swinging the club at 100 miles an hour. This is not quite full speed for me, but it's an easily repeatable speed, which I kind of needed for this test. Keeping the club head speed exactly the same throughout the test means that I'm able to compare these golf balls' performances like for like. Again, I'm going to put all of the results on screen for you. I just want you to brace yourselves. Take a look at these. The budget golf ball is flying further, flying faster, spinning less, and rolling out more. That's a serious amount of distance for an average golfer like me. Now, before we get too excited, these are the kind of results that you would expect to see when a golf ball is a little bit too soft for you. The lower spin can be a blessing and a curse. The lower the spin, the more carry you're likely to get. But if the spin is too low, it will be less forgiving. Backspin can actually help the ball fly straighter. So when we actually get out onto the golf course, I'm expecting the Pro V1 to fly straighter than the Callaway. But we'll find out for sure when we get out there. But these are still very interesting results and very impressive results for a budget golf ball. I'd argue that if you're swinging at 105 miles an hour or more, the Callaway Hex Tour is probably a little bit too soft for you. But for 90% of average golfers out there, this golf ball is going to be perfect for you. And you're probably going to see just as good a performance as a Pro V1 at less than half the price. Okay, so the Callaway Hex Tour can perform just as good as the Pro V1 in the simulator. But how good does it perform out on the golf course? For this test, I'm going to head over to Spalding Golf Club. I'm going to play 6 holes and put these golf balls head to head in all sorts of different situations. I'm going to hit both golf balls from tee to green in the scramble format and give 1 point to the ball that is picked for the next shot. A pretty simple test, and it'll give us a chance to analyze which ball is better off the tee, which is better with irons, which is better with wedges, and give us a chance to figure out which is the best overall golf ball. Again, a very simple test and hopefully a telling one. Okay, so the Callaway won on score, but it didn't really feel like it should have. The point of this outdoor test was to show you how little difference a golf ball can make on the average golfer's performance. Don't get me wrong, if you use a wildly unsuitable golf ball for your swing, then you're going to see a performance issue. But as long as you match up the compression and the feel that you're after, you're not going to go far wrong. And I guess that's the whole point of this video, and that's the whole point of this quest for searching for a good budget golf ball. Average golfers like us don't need to be using Pro V1s and losing them. It hurts when we lose them, and we lose golf balls quite regularly. Now, if we take the average golfer's swing out of the equation, the Callaway didn't actually perform that well outdoors. Don't get me wrong, the distance was fine and it felt great with the putter. It felt pretty much exactly the same as the Pro V1 with the putter. It just really struggled in the wind. I played the rest of that round of golf with the Callaway in those windy conditions, and the ball flight just felt more erratic with the Callaway. Titleist have put decades of engineering behind the dimple pattern on their golf ball and their urethane cover. And in conditions like today, that premium build pays dividends. Like I said, I've tested a lot of budget golf balls on the channel now, and unfortunately, I wouldn't rank this one very high. The indoor numbers felt so promising, but in those windy conditions today, you need a better ball to be able to rely on. Something like the Kirkland V3 is showing much better signs of being a great budget golf ball. I did a review on that golf ball recently, and there is a link at the end of this video to go and watch that. That video is definitely worth a watch. But as always make your own mind up. In the description, you'll find a link to the Callaway Hex Tour golf balls on Amazon. If you swing the driver less than 100 miles an hour, then these golf balls are worth a go, especially in the winter. Everyone hates losing premium golf balls. Guys, if you've liked this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. By doing so, it helps this video reach other like-minded golfers, and hopefully this channel can help other golfers as well. But for now, thank you for watching this whole video, and I'll see you next week for another.